All right, so there's a whole series of ones here where I tried a whole bunch of free scanners, and what I found, perhaps not a surprise, is almost all the free scanners are really, really lame. They really don't find security stuff very well at all. The expensive scanners like Acunetics are powerful, but they're expensive and don't seem to have a free version you can play with. The best of all these, in my opinion, was Snyk. And so for this project, first you fork the OWASP juice shop core and fork mine, because you get exactly the version I'm using. OWASP Juice Shop is a whole modern web app with all these pages. It sells things and has vulnerabilities, and the original intention of it is for pen testing, where you practice hacking it, but I've reversed it. I'm using it for defense, where you fix the problems. And so then Snyk is great. You don't install anything. You make an account and use it on their website. And you can scan your GitHub repository directly. So you scan the code. You don't need to have a server. It's a code scanner. It looks through your code for suspicious stuff. So you can scan code on GitHub, and then it will do it, import and scan your product, and just show you the results. It's very nice. And of course, it rates them critical, high, medium, low. Here's what it found. And you'll see a lot of issues. If you look at the critical ones, it will tell you what they are. And just like all other vuln scanners, it will show you how to learn about it, how to fix the code. It'll even have some attempt to automatically fix it. And so if you click the green fix it, you can open a fix and you verify that it's there. Open a fix PR. It opens a pull request page. There you go. It creates a pull request in your GitHub showing what it's going to do. And you can see the files that were changed, and there they are. Now, this sounds great. The problem is the only thing it could automatically fix is the most trivial stuff. It's the wrong versions in the version list, which is incredibly lame. I thought it would go to the code and add some lines of code to fix the vuln, and it doesn't do that. It won't do that for you, which I hope they upgrade it, because that would be awesome if it would just fix the code. But anyway, you can fix them by hand. But anyway, it shows you these. You can play with these and see. It was my opinion the best scanner to use. And you can see it'll find the vulnerabilities just fine. It won't fix them automatically, but you can find a cross-site scripting vulnerability here. It'll tell you uninstantaneous input from cookies flows into send, where it's used to render a page. So this is just like that one I showed you before in your own PHP. And the reason why I thought it important to include this is because those earlier ones, you have a little file, a PHP file that's only like 8 lines, and an HTML file that's only like 8 lines. So you're understanding how it looks in isolation, but in a real project with like hundreds of pages and directories and everything, it's more of a mess. So you ought to get used to how it's going to look in the real world. In the real world, it'll be this. But the vuln scanners will dig down through the code and find the lines that have the problem and recommend how to fix them. And then, of course, you have to, but it has help pages to guide you to find fixes. And this is what the big corporation I was working for, this is what they mostly liked, was learning how to scan it with an automated scanner and practicing fixing things. That's what they want their developers to learn how to do. As part of their QA process, scan it and fix the stuff the scanner finds, and then we'll save a ton of money on security problems. And one thing that's important, which I've heard, is if you find a vulnerability during product development, it costs a certain amount of time and money. If you find it later at quality control and you have to rework, that costs 10 times as much. If it gets all the way to the customer and you have to have a patch and an update, that costs 100 times as much. So you really want to catch it in development before you waste everybody's time. Scan your stuff and fix the stuff the scanner finds, which is not that hard. Get a good scanner, and the scanner will tell you, here's the flaw, here's a page teaching you about it, here's some recommended code. So it's really not that hard. And that, I think, is much more productive than trying to have developers really understand security in detail. An existing developer can pretty easily learn to use the scanner, and that will improve their code quite a lot. So that's what I wanted to show you about that one.